What's going on, Fight Fam? So we got some stuff to talk about today. We're gonna get right into it. Tank Davis does not beat Shakur Stevenson. I'm going on a record and saying that. I mean, after this last fight that he had against William Cepeda, and after Tank's last performance against Lamont Roach, Shakur is on another level than Tank. I hope the fight happens because that's gonna be another easy money payday we get by putting money on Shakur Stevenson. But seeing this fight against Cepeda, seeing how Shakur fought in a certain style just because people were running their mouth saying he was scared to engage, he engaged the whole fight. And I got a lot of hate on my video about Shakur Stevenson of people talking about Mexican style boxing. Shakur is going to run. All this nonsense. So I'm expecting people to say the same thing if him and Tank Davis fight. Now let's get more specific on why I think Shakur beats Tank Davis. First off, defense. Defense wins championships. Defense wins fights. He's going to be defensively focused, and Shakur has pop on his shot, so he's going to be able to counter Tank. He's going to make Tank miss, make him pay. Now he's not going to fight Tank like he fought William Cepeda. He's not going to be on the ropes against Tank. Shakur knows he can't do that. I mean, in the post-fight press conference after the Cepeda fight, Shakur said, "Yeah, I won't be fighting like that again," because he does not want to get hit. It doesn't make sense to get hit. Boxing is hit and don't get hit. That's what it's about. That's the sweet science. That's what a lot of people fail to realize. Like using footwork and moving and evading an opponent is not an easy thing to do. You have to be very well conditioned. You have to have good timing. You have to have good head movement. And Shakur showed a little Mayweather in there with that shoulder roll. Now, I do think a fight with him and Tank is competitive. Initially, I was thinking it was a 50-50 fight, but now I'm leaning 60-40 Shakur. Now, Tank does have the equalizer. If he catches Shakur, Tank can put anybody lights out. We know that. But Shakur is aware of that. Tank does not have enough punching volume. He's going to be looking to set up the big shot, and his time is going to be thrown off because Shakur is going to be countering him on the way in. And Shakur, if he needs to, he will clinch, move around him, and that's how the fight is going to go. He's going to beat Tank by a unanimous decision. The fight is going to be one-sided, I'm telling you, because Tank relies on his power. And we saw what happened when he relied on his power against Lamont Roach. And I personally think Tank Davis lost that fight, but they ruled it a draw. Now, Tank Davis has personal things going on that I won't speak on. You never know what somebody's going through personally, but as a fighter, that's going to affect your performance inside the ring. When you have distractions outside the ring and you're getting arrested and things like that, that's going to affect your performance. And just less than a year ago, Tank was talking about retiring from boxing. When you start talking like that, your heart is not 100% in it like it used to be. Now, it could be from all the success he accumulated in boxing, but he wants to spend more time with his family, which is understandable. He's been boxing since he was a kid. So, if you have Shakur, who's still extremely passionate about boxing and locked in, and Tank, one day he wants to box, the other day he wants to retire, the guy that is locked in is going to win. And Shakur has more skills than Tank Davis. Yes, I said it. Shakur has more skills. Now, on another topic, we might be getting a Shakur Stevenson and Conor Benn fight next. So on Ariel Hawani's show, they just had an intense exchange where they agreed to fight in November after Conor Benn fights Chris Eubank. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. After Conor Benn rematches Chris Eubank Jr. in September 20th, I think they set the date, him and Shakur agreed to fight at 147 in November. Now, I don't know how true this is, but Conor Benn said that Chris Eubank does not want the fight, or he's starting to back out of the fight, so he don't know what's happening with that. And he said, so if that fight doesn't happen, I'll fight you at 147. And Shakur wants to fight him in London. This is huge. Now, if you all think the Mexican fans hated me in the comments the fans in London are going to absolutely hate me because I got Shakur Stevenson smoking Conor Benn even at 147. Like Shakur told him, you're not going to be able to hit me. Conor Benn, yes, he has power. He's a good fighter, but he also tested positive for PEDs. Let's not forget that. And since he tested positive for the PEDs, his power has not looked the same in fights. That's just the facts. So I like Shakur in that fight, and I still think Shakur Tank Davis still is the bigger fight. But if Shakur can't get a Tank fight and he goes up to 147 and he beats Conor Benn, then those pound for pound rankings are going to be looking very, very interesting as far as that top five go in the pound for pound rankings, because that's a huge jump to jump up two weight classes and going up against one of the top guys at 147. Um, so we'll see if that happens, but they verbally agreed to it. I know things will have to get sorted out with the contract, but Shakur knows Conor Benn can't hit him. I mean, he asked him, he sized him up. He sees that he's not that big, and he's asking him when did he start boxing, and Conor Benn is like 17 years old, and Shakur's like, "There's no way possible you could beat me, and I've been boxing since I was 5." Those years matter. Similar to when Tank Davis fought Frank Martin, and he was like, "You haven't been boxing long enough to beat me." Like, that matters in the fight game, especially boxing. Those years add up. And again, Conor Benn, he's not going to be able to hit Shakur. So I'm not even worried about his power. Just make sure those drug tests come back clear before the fight if they do make it happen. All right, so let me know what y'all think down in the comment section below about a Shakur and Tank fight, and also a Shakur and Conor Benn fight at 147 pounds. And Shakur is getting to that superstar status, especially if he goes up to 147 and fights Conor Benn in London. Mega star. All right, catch you on the next video. Peace.